Andrew McCART, IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm here at the famous York Hall in London. With me I've got the famous David Diamante. How are you, sir?
Yeah, doing great, man. Great to see you.
Well, it's good. It's always good to hear your introductions when you come to an arena, because you must do your research, because you go into like the history of the arena and everything like that. You really put some effort into it, don't you?
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big fan of the sport. One of the things I love about boxing is the tradition and the history of it. So great history of our sport, and what a great place. We're standing in the center of York Hall. I mean, this is the legendary spot.
Can you give me a little bit of history from the York Hall?
Yeah, well, this is my first place ever announcing in the UK, so I love it. But anyone has fought in this arena.
Good stuff. Well, let's talk about it then. You're the MC for the show tomorrow night, Dave Allen against Lucas Browne. Again, you can't give him a prediction because you're obviously a number. Just what's your thoughts on the fight and all that?
I really think it's a 50-50 because I love this fight, and the reason I love it, again, as I talked about yesterday, we know who sits atop the heavyweight division, right? We got the three kings up there. We know that. But it doesn't mean that there aren't other great fighters around and there aren't great fights to be made. You just need the right dance partner. And I believe that Allen and Browne are the right dance partners at the right moment. Allen has never taken this game seriously. He's a tough guy. He loves to fight. He doesn't mind getting hit. You know, he's a fighter. And he's prize fighting is in his family. He's like third, fourth generation fighter in his family. Lucas Browne is the tough Aussie from Perth. He's a bigger guy. He's a higher level fighter. He's won the WBA regular title. Heavyweight champion of the world. It's on his CV. It's on his ledger.
No mean feat as well, is it?
Absolutely. Yeah. But he's also, he's kind of on the downside. He had a tough fight against Dillian Whyte. We all know that. But Allen has recently been taking his game very seriously, and he's been hanging out with Darren Barker, Mick Marsden. He's been doing a lot of work, and he's looking really fit. So he's kind of coming on the way up. Lucas possibly on the way down, but his level has been a little bit higher. This is a hard one to call. I mean, I think these guys are really going to go toe-to-toe.
You feel like the fans are in for a treat with this main event?
Absolutely. It's a cracker. It's a cracker. But, 10 fights. We got Nikita Bobby fighting over here for the first time.
Fellow New Yorker, fellow
Brooklynite. He's from a different state. He's from Brighton Beach.
All right.
I'm from Bed-Stuy. But anyway, he's a great guy, and he really can punch. Shannon Courtney, the fighter from Watford, she just had a pro debut. Now she's fighting at the O2. Amazing. PBK, Pretty Boy Kelly on the card. Joe Cordina.
You've got some memory, I must admit.
Yeah, but these fighters, there's a great card here, man. So a lot of great guys fighting on the card. I'm really excited about it.
What about the big Derek Chisora as well? He had a tough fight against Dillian Whyte last time as well, but he's got another tough fight. A lot of people maybe have written Gashi off, but he is a tough man, Gashi, isn't he?
Well, this is the thing. Gashi had a really tough outing last time against Carlos Takam. Takam is world level.
Yeah.
Okay. Gashi came into that fight 17-0, all 17 wins by knockout. Now, he took the fight on, he says 3 days notice, and he put up a tough fight, and then he got stopped.
Yeah.
And it was really tough. I was ringside and I saw it, and to see a guy that's undefeated go in there and just try his hardest. But again, there's levels to this game, and when you come in 3 days notice, this can happen. This time he's really fit, and he cannot wait to take on Chisora. Now, Chisora and Dillian Whyte, that last rematch was unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
What a fight. And you gotta love Derek, man. He comes every time. He's as tough as they come.
I want to get your opinion on this. When you look at the landscape of the heavyweight division, you mentioned the three kings, Joshua, Fury and Wilder. Then do you have Dillian Whyte underneath them, and then you've got maybe the Dave Allens, the Gerald Millers and all them underneath that? Is that how you see the landscape of the heavyweight division?
Well, obviously, Joshua, Fury, Wilder, 3 top. But from there are a lot of other guys around. You got Char, you got Kovnatsky, Miller. We all know what just happened recently with him.
I'll probably get your thoughts on that in a wee bit if that's okay with you.
And then there's all these other guys, Dubois, Joyce. There's a lot of other
young
guys.
boys coming through, yeah.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of names coming around. There's a lot of guys in the division. So I think right now, again, like I talked about it yesterday, they say boxing goes the way of the heavyweight. And it was really tough for a long time with the Klitschko's on top. Longest heavyweight reign in history, 12 years, man. It was really tough. And some guys just didn't like their style, but just didn't bring in the fans, unless you were German or Ukrainian. So now we have a lot of excitement in the division. The sediment, it's like stepping through the creek and there's just mud everywhere. It's going to be interesting to see where the sediment right now it's all
too murky.
It's a little murky, but I can't wait till it. Look, the fans all want the big fights right now. I get it. Look, I want that too. We all want it, but it can't always happen like that. So people have to be a little bit patient. The fights will happen. I do believe that. So we'll see what happens. I can't wait to see how it shakes out.
Well, you mentioned it. Another fellow Brooklynite, if that's what you call yourselves, Brooklynites, Darrell Miller.
Yeah.
I don't want you to probably go into too much depth about it, but just what's your thoughts on the whole situation and the Darrell Miller and Anthony Joshua situation?
That's a damn shame.
Yep. Is that it? It's the damn shame.
I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
I mean, it's boxing, so nothing surprises me anymore in this game. I mean, last week or 2 weeks ago in Liverpool, we saw Cash Ali bite David Price.
Yeah.
I mean, when can you really be surprised with
Yeah.
this game? You've seen everything. But we've seen this before. I mean, a lot of guys, I'm not going to start throwing out names, but we all know who they are. A lot of guys have tested positive over time. And VADA looks like they're doing a really good job, and they're catching people. And it's a shame, because I think we were all really looking forward to this fight.
I think we were, yeah. Well, I'm quite intrigued by you, David, because I want to know how you got into the MCing side of the boxing game. If you don't mind, just give me a quick, brief history of how you got into the sport.
It's a long story.
Is it? So maybe
it's not a but basically, I mean, since a little kid, loved the sport. Always watched it. Did some training myself. Did some fighting. Figured I'd be a much better announcer than a fighter.
Did some fighting, did you?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah. So I think I'm better on the mic than in the ring.
Yeah,
so.
I'm better behind the camera than in the ring myself.
That's it.
So there
you know
you
how
go.
it is.
As a Scotsman,
yeah.
I'm patriotic, so we touched a little bit about Josh Taylor. You've announced some of his fights. Can you give me your thoughts on Josh and his fight with Browne?
Tornado. Man, I love this guy. I really love Josh Taylor. I mean, I think that people don't realize how talented Josh Taylor is, and he's so mentally strong also. I mean, he's fit. To me, he's really got so many attributes of a great fighter. He's quick. He's got great movement. He trains super hard, but he's also, and we talked about this a little bit, he's got a mean streak in the ring. Out of the ring, he's a complete gentleman. Like, he just came over to New York, and him and the missus called me up, and me and my girl, we went and took them out for dinner and went to the club. We had a great time. But, I've called his fights in Glasgow at the SSC Hydro, and the Scots, I mean, the Glaswegians, they get behind him, man. They love it, Sucky Hall Street, everyone's So
I'm going to make you an honourable Scot.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it up there. Aye.
Well, how's the cigar business going as well? So, you did wing a cigar last interview I saw with you.
Yeah, it's going great. I just had one out here on the steps
I've seen it. That's why I'm asking about it, because I see you with the big cigar and the big stogie in your mouth.
Yeah, everything's good. That's going along. Listen, it's a hobby, man. For me, I just do things that I love, and I love cigars, and I was the first cigar lounge in Brooklyn because I used to smoke in Manhattan,
right?
And there was nowhere to smoke in Brooklyn. I couldn't believe it, so I built a lounge, and it's been there for 10 years now. So
if I come to Brooklyn, to New York with my missus, can I just give you a call and you take me out, me and my wife?
Absolutely.
Good, man. Well, I'm going to hold you to that, David.
I'll be mad at you if you don't.
I'll hold you. Well, quickly, one more question before I let you go.
Yeah.
What can the fans expect from the show tomorrow night? Why should they tune in?
I think it's a cracker. I mean, it's from top to bottom. This is the thing I just want to say, and really quick, I think the UK and boxing fans in general should be really happy to have a guy like Eddie Hearn on their side, because he's building up these fighters that are the next wave of the David Hayes and the Ricky Hattons and the Prince Naseems and the big names, the Calzagis, all these guys. You guys have to build them up, and he's doing that. And you see it with guys like Cordina and Pretty Boy Kelly. Just really great fighters that he's bringing up, and he's given him a great stage to do it. Even a guy like David Allen, and Coogan Cash is
my boss.
Yeah,
my boss.
He's getting David on the top of the bill, but it's great to see that, because he's got an amazing story also. And Conor Benn, the son of the legend, the destroyer, great to see him back. He had the hand injury, he's back on the card. That's exciting to see him too. So, and like Shannon Courtney, she has a great story, and it's only her second pro fight, but it's exciting to see her, and she just wants to do. She's a fighter, man.
Yeah.
She's a fighter. I think the fans are really gonna like Nikita Ababi. He always puts on a fight, and after he wins, he usually does a little dance in the ring. So look out for that. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man. So hopefully, if you can't come out, everyone tunes in.
Perfect. Well, David, thank you so much for this interview. I really appreciate it, and see you tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Thanks for doing Sci-Fi TV. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it.
man to get them balls.